You could see, like most buildings in the region, like every single building that looks like there's wealth behind it, there's been an electric fence or some very sharp objects, at least some very sharp objects placed on top of the fence. And, you know, some people say it's for the crime, again, in Cape Town, which is caused by the disparity, by the wealth disparity. But I think it's actually, it could be for the penguins too. Okay, which makes it seem less dystopic than it actually is. Penguins and baboons just raiding food.
And now with our scheduled programming.
Anyway, here's a member of a pretty odd family that not many people outside of South Africa would know. This is a member of the family Bruniaceae, which comes out, it's in its own order, Bruniales, and it comes out somewhere, according to the DNA, somewhere between Dipsacales and Apiales, the carrot order. Remember, orders always end in ales. So this is a pretty weird branch of the angiosperm family tree. Nonetheless, it's a family that's got quite a few members in the Cape region, and this is one of them. This is Stavia Radiata. Look at these tiny flowers grouped together in these nearly capitate inflorescences. See, there's 5 petals. Alternating with the petals, you got the 5 stamens with a little purple anther on top. These weird white bracts, these ligule-like bracts that surround that whole capitate inflorescence. And then you can see these old flowers, the spent ones, all brown right there. The foliage, like most of the stuff here in this Mediterranean fynbos
It's
climate,
pronounced fynbos.
is ericoid. Just kind of juniper-like, short, little, really simplified leaves. Anyway, Stavia Radiata. And that's a Cape endemic. And here you got the Lobelia Penifolia. Like many lobelias in Africa that we see, this just has tiny blue flowers. But you got the pollen presenter. See that? About to come out between those 2 petals right there. See, it's kind of hiding right in between those 2 petals, just so it can dust the pollinators back when it crawls in there to get at the nectar inside that tube. Look at all those goddamn hairs. Penifolia. You can see why they call it that. Yeah, you know, it is balls cold out there. It's like you can see the road right there. Cape Town's right there, hiding behind the fog. It feels like a very cold day in San Francisco. Anyway, here's a member of the Thymoleaceae, the Struthiola genus. Look at those little scale-like petals that come off. You got those 4 pink bracts, and then you got these little 8 of these little yellow scales on that tube flower that release scent. And again, the ericoid leaves. Look at it. Conifer-like leaves, or erica-like leaves. And this showy bastard down here is actually a member of the citrus family. You could see the pellucid oil glands in those leaves. See those little dots in the small foliage right there? See that? Like you'd see in an orange peel. Very smelly foliage. I like it though. Adenandra uniflora. Look what's going on inside that flower. Seems kind of complex, huh? You got, looks like these oil producing, maybe nectar producing. They're producing some kind of, you know, it's some kind of gland. You could see they're hairy. Those pink things, those alternate with the actual anthers. You could see those pink things are secreting some sort of floral attractant. And then in between them, you got the actual anthers down there. Here's a flower I split open. You can actually see it's puking pollen everywhere. See that? Pollen coming out the anthers, but you still got those hairy, pink filamented oil-producing glands up above. See that? And then the anthers down below. You got to get them in there, you know? So what is this flower producing as a reward for pollinators? You can see very juicy. The flowers are very juicy, very slick. Got a lot of exudate going on in there. See that? See how shiny and shit it is, huh? And you got those sepals, those beautiful sepals alternating with the petals. Okay, here's a very bizarre one. Okay, if only because the rest of the genus tends to be so succulent, and though some would maybe call this succulent, yeah, I guess maybe a little bit. I guess those leaves are kind of succulent there. but they don't really look like it, and it's got a woody stem down there. Anyway, this is Crassula Fascicularis from the Jade plant family, Crassulaceae. There's those flowers, showy as hell, all clumped together in a little receptacle, almost in a little involucre. Well, not really. They're still individual. But look at that long-ass tube. Look at that long perianth. And then, of course, how many stamens you get in there? 5? Looks like 5, maybe 10 if we cut it open, but I don't really feel like doing it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got 5 in there. You got 5 stamens and then a little 5-lobed stigma up top there in the center. See that? Kind of brown at the top. And then ciliate margins on that calyx, on those sepals. How about that? Anyway, you know, when I first saw this, I couldn't figure out what it was because the one I saw, the leaves weren't really succulent. They just felt kind of leathery and stiff and goddamn ericoid like everything else here. But anyway, I don't know. It's a pretty weird goddamn Crassula if you ask me. Crassula Fascicularis. Here's a bizarre one, all right. Unusual for the coffee family. This guy's wind pollinated. This is Anthospermum ethiopicum. Genus has about, I don't know, 25, 30 species in it. Okay, occurs in Africa, southern part of Africa, and Madagascar. Maybe you get a couple up there on the Arabian Peninsula too. Look at those leaves. Not too pleasant to munch on, plasticky and sclerophilous. Flowers don't need to be showed because they're just pollinated by wind. There you go. Look at these little bastards. Amitermes hystatus, the black mound termite. All right, endemic to the Feinbos ecosystem. Can build these massive ass mounds. They just love that Table Mountain sandstone. Nice. Columia setosa, okay, another weird member of the Asteraceae, another camp, another composite with leaves like razor wire. All right, from the Arctiidae tribe, the Arctic titties tribe. Same tribe as those daisies, those orange daisies that mimic the Cape bee fly. Look at that foliage though, so spiny. Lots of evidence of selection pressure by herbivores. Okay, let me step over these sandstone boulders without breaking my ass. So we're going to look at this small tree over here. One of the only things that could be considered a tree on the Cape Peninsula. This is Leucospermum Conocarpidendron viridum. All right, kind of a mouthful. Looks like a protea flower, except there's no showy bracts. It's a big difference between the genus Leucospermum and the genus Protea. Now I want you to look at these leaves right here. They got extra floral nectaries on them. See those little orange dots right there? Look, there's a beetle going for it right now. You got those pollen presenters poking out, and you got hairs on the tepals. Hairy tepals. Look at this. Okay, now this is a genus that hit it big in the Cape flora, all right? Tons of species here, very diverse genus, closely allied to the pea family, all right? Same order, but a different family. This is Polyglot. This is Polyglot Bractiolada, okay? And look at the flowers. They kind of look like pea flowers, but they got that apically fringed petal right there. See that? Looking like a little powder poof, okay? And the stamens, of course, are hidden inside that flower. And they got those 2 sepals that look like wing petals. Nice. Nice money shot of that quartzitic sandstone. And then right here we got this Potyleria, which is a phabid, which should be obvious, a pea that, I don't know, it kind of smells like grape soda and bubblegum, but it's very pleasant smelling. Holy shit. What a nice, God, I can't get over it. So fragrant. Definitely doesn't smell like an ass here. Look, odd about this plant too is that the leaves are simple. They're not triffid. Simple and singular. And then there's that little fuzzy bean fruit. See that? Still got the filaments. Still got the filaments just surrounding that little bean fruit. God, what a pleasant smelling flower. The carpenter bees love to see those massive bastards. And then over here we got a species of Clifortia, which is a rose. A wind pollinated rose with a very simple flower. See, that's the stigma popping out right there. See that? Hoping to catch some errant wind-borne pollen grains. Almost looks like a juniper or some sort of rosemary, huh? Not much to look at in terms of leaves or flowers, and just covered in trichomes. Very species-rich genus Clifortia down here in the Cape. One of those weird Southern Hemisphere rose lineages. It's from the same tribe, it's Sanguisorbinae, that you got in Chile. You got quite a few cool members in Chile too. Now look at this one. Okay, now you can see the ocean back there in the background. Okay, sounds of urban development all around. Pretty obnoxious, just that roar you hear. Remember the first time I heard that, standing on the shores of Brooklyn, looking at Manhattan, just hearing that fucking roar in the background. It really, yeah, it's enough to give you anxiety. But anyway, we're looking at this composite right here. You can see it up there. There's some in the background. Kind of an odd form. Almost looking, again, that monocolous thing. It doesn't really, you know, it'll send one branch out and then that just continues on. You know, it's got a very strange habit to it. But anyway, this is a member of the genus Odera, and it's one of the paper daisies. Look at those ligules. I don't see any teeth on those ligules. So the paper daisies are notorious for being discoid flowers, but this seems to have secondarily evolved ligules. Anyway, this is Odera Embracata, and again, you have that foliage, those leaves that kind of look like a damn Araucaria. They look like some sort of weird prehistoric conifer. Okay, you know, sclerophyllous, doing a very good job of not transpiring moisture. You got a little red margin to those leaves as well. You know, where do the leaves end and the phyllaries begin? Who can tell me that? Huh? They all just kind of blend into each other. Very, very cool form right here. And again, many of these paper daisies, these nephalioids from tribe Nephaliae with a GN, have this kind of shape. That's really cool. Just really weird foliage. I call them dinosaur sunflowers. Okay, but I call them mutisioids that too. So anyway, there, Odera Embracata is this guy right here. What a weird bastard. You can see he's got kind of a pretty thick woody stem down there for a little camp, all right? You got the Leucospermum in the background, a Struthiola, all kinds of interesting shit. Leucodendron right there. How's that? You like that nice? Oh, yeah, here's a weird one. Looks like a goddamn conifer from that family I was telling you about, Bruniaceae and the Bruniales. Okay, the one that comes out closest to the carrot order and the Dipsacales order over there. If you don't know what the shit that is, it's fine. It don't matter too. Who gives a fuck? Anyway, you can see, here's these. This is a Brunia noduliflora, flora, because it's got these little nodules, okay? And those are actually the flower heads when they're done. You get these capitated inflorescences. Let's take a close look at what's going on there. See all those little plant dongs, little anthers just spilling out. Those each one of those little bracts represents a flower head. So, you know, a pretty compact inflorescence there. They're done right now. The foliage looks like some sort of weird, you know, Southern Hemisphere podocarp, some sort of weird Jurassic lineage of conifer. It's just a little woody bush coming up here. Okay, adapted to the burns, adapted to the fire, the fine boss, and with this shit, just like the Leucospermum right here with the velvety leaves, and what seem to be extra floral nectaries right there. See, there's the inflorescence on that Leucospermum to get y'all hot and bothered. But anyway, so these are done, these little nodules, and you got the seed in there, and quite a few seeds. They'll just stay closed and open. You know, some will probably dehisce naturally, some will probably dehisce after a fire. But you can see you still got the old ones. Oh no, it looks like these are dehiscing already. See, they got the little holes in them already. Anyway, another weird species from an already weird family, but a very cool family that's almost endemic to South Africa. You get a couple outliers here and there, but certainly the southern part of the African continent. Oh, look, it's the little strap leaves of Haemanthus, one of the amaryllids, just gathering up energy right now. It's going to flower in the fall. How about that? Okay, we're still crawling around in the bushes on the side of this hill. Here we got Diastella the Vericata, Proteaceae. Okay, notorious as being one of the smallest proteas, if not the smallest protea. The tiniest protea. That's going to be the name of the cupcake shop I'm going to open. Look at that. Oh, wow. Each one of those little, what looks like a little fuzzy rad, is actually an individual flower. You can see the palm presenters coming out looking like a little chicken bone or something. Little bent leg of a wishbone. Yeah, everything's covered in hairs. You got little tiny hairs on the stem, on the leaves, on a goddamn involucre, on a brax. And there's those little pink palm presenters poking out. You can see the anthers, those little white anthers on some of those tepals too. Oh, that's cute. Isn't it cute? Oh, that's so cute. Just love it. Like A little edible luggage. How about that? That's adorable. Oh, look at it. It's a new Cyphia, which is a lobelioid. Okay, Campanulaceae, the family. Don't worry, I broke that stick, but this is actually a vine. I didn't break that, see? The plant is still fine. But again, I've said this before, it's a lobeliad, so it looks like it's got that little pollen presenter, that little rod with the inward-facing fused anther column. And the anthers do indeed face inward, but they're not fused. You got free filaments. And if I wasn't such a lazy schmuck, I'd slit that corolla open and show it to you. But you just have to take my word for it. Note that it's radial, unlike all the other lobeliads we've been seeing, which have been zygomorphic. They've been bilaterally symmetrical. Look at those little, you get where are the leaves at? Oh yeah, there they are. How about that? Cyphia, pretty big genus here in the Cape. Well, now here's an awful smelling plant if there ever was one. It kind of smells like jizz mixed with dog shit. That's really probably one of the most profane things I've ever said on this program. If I don't get canceled by YouTube, you know, I'll be surprised. But, you know, I've done a lot of shit that I guess hasn't been canceled yet, which is surprising. Anyway, look at these tiny flowers. Anacardiaceae is the family there. Okay? God, it really smells bad. Almost like it would make me think it's, well, it's not wind pollinated. It's probably just some form of starch that happens to smell bad. Some form of sugar. But, anyway, you can see those trifoliate leaves, triphid leaves right there. Almost looking like a, you know, skunk sumac or poison oak maybe. But there's those flowers. 5 petals. Small. A bunch of tiny flowers on a panicle. And yeah, it smells horrible. How about that? Okay, covering this whole, just a pretty large shrub right here. Okay, Nydia Panafolia. Here's a plant that does not smell too bad. Actually smells kind of pleasant. Thymeliaceae is the family again. Big down here in South Africa. Also get quite a few species in Australia. Look at those flowers. Again, 4 meris. You got 4 sepals, 4 petals, and then 4 anthers sticking out of the inside right there. And again, not surprisingly, it has ericoid foliage. See that? See those little needle-like leaves? Not much to look at, but the joy's in the flowers, and they smell pretty nice too. Look at it. Just a little rounded inflorescence, all those flowers sessile at the top of these shoots. Gnidia. Then, of course, this waxy bastard. Okay, another 4 meris flower, Salteros sarcocola, orders Myrtales, families Penniaceae. There's those flowers. Look at it. Look at those flowers up close. Again, with the damn, the foliage looks like a damn conifer. Okay, and then you got up there at the top, you got the 4 stamens with inward facing anthers forming a little tube. You got the style in the middle right there. You could see that style in a cage right there. That little thinner pink rad. 4 petals, and those flowers just kind of sessile in this inflorescence right here. Okay, very resinous. If you crack one of these open, I mean, it's already wet. It's super oily. Feels like someone smeared lip balm all over on the inside. Look at it. Look, it's weeping like a pine. All that resin in there. Penniaceae, again, order is Myrtales, same order as guava and eucalyptus and what this shit, you know. And look at it. Look at all the wax. Look at all the... Is that a wax or is that some sort of damn fungus that colonizes the... I'm going to go with a wax with an exudate. Okay, looking right here, we got a pretty weird plant, okay? Try and guess what family this is in. Okay, the flowers are mostly done, but you still got the bracts that surround that inflorescence, the showy red bracts. You can kind of see a little bit of a flower left over right there. This is a pea. This is a member of the pea family Fabaceae. This is a member of the genus Liparia. Look at that. You still got a flower right there. Flip it over. Let's see if we can get up close. See? Look, you got a keel, that long ass keel in the back. That long ass banner in the back. You got that keel coming forward, wings on either side of it. So you got your banner, wings, and keel, like a typical Faboideae subfamily of the pea family, Fabaceae flower. Like Liparia parva. What a weirdo. Just taking the sprawling habit right here on the rocks. Beneath the damn Leucospermum. What the shit? Some nice sensual sandstone right there. Ooh. Here we go, another weird scrofe. Oh yeah. Zaluzianskia capensis, Scrophulariaceae. Quite an ornate little snowflake of a corolla. I'm special. You snowflake? I am a little snowflake. I'm very sensitive. Anyway, so you can see this, that nice red floral tube. Oh, the undersides of the corolla are red. Look at that. Get a nice contrast with the adaxial surface of that corolla. The abaxial surface of those petals is bright red, much like the floral tube. What pollinates this? Proboscis flies, probably. And of course, let's see if we got the glands. Oh yeah, we got trichomes, we got glands. We got trichomes and glands on the bracts, on the leaves, and all that shit. The calyces. Ooh, look at those sepals, those purple sepals. God damn. The Scrophulariaceae here, again, is amazing. There's those leaves right down there. See, they're alternate. Oh no, excuse me, they're opposite. Opposite, alternating pairs of opposite leaves. Okay, remember Lamiales, a lot of plants in Lamiales, the order, which is the order that Scrophulariaceae is in, have opposite leaves right there. And the little oxalis right there too, closing up shop for today. This is a nice one. Doesn't look like much, just looks like another damn juniper-looking sub-shrub with those frickin' ericoid leaves. Let's take a look, little close-up look at the flowers though. Most of them are spent already. Let's see if we can find one. There's one that's still going off. See that? See that guy? Another member of the family Bruniaceae. This is Alduinia. Alduinia capitata. How the shit did it get that name? Look, ciliate margins on those bracts. There's those petals still. So you got 5 petals. Everything's all for. This is kind of a shitty money shot, wouldn't you say? Be nice to find one that was still in flower. Let's see if we can find one. Oh, look at that. What a scene. What a scene out of the Fynbos, out of the Cape Floristic region. With that sandstone, the way it weathers, so rounded, with the little fractures and what the shit. And then right here we got a member of the sedge family Cyperaceae. Tetraria is the genus here. Looking like a damn, look, it looks like a damn bromeliad. It's just this huge clump. You'll see them on the hills and mountains around here as well. Anyway, this is a Tetraria thermalis. Cyperaceae is the family. There's the spent flowers. It's the inflorescence. See, they got the colline leaves as well. Very thick. Very thick. Ooh, kind of hurts. Kind of stiff with that central vein right there. But they're quite adapted to burning. Looks like it. We saw a few that had burned. All the leaves were gone. They were re-sprouting. And all that was left was just these rather large stalks, you know. About, I don't know, 5 to 6 inches wide, a foot tall. Nice Trachyandra too. Look at that. There's those flowers. 6 yellow anthers, 6 tepals with a red vein in them. Another wonderful little geophyte. Look at those damn leaves. Look at that. They fold like that. They curl. Here we go, member of the citrus family. Again, just coming up on those damn cliffs. Full exposure to the wind. Quite chilly right now. In bird's eye view of that ocean, we got a species of Coleonema. Coleonema alba. Little white flowers. Ericoid leaves. Look, they got kind of a little prickle on the end of them. Come to a point. Those leaves, of course, got the pellucid oil glands in them. Just like in orange peel, those little dots that are a lighter shade of green on the others. So the foliage smells good. And then one of the big giveaways for the family is the fruits. You know, if you didn't get it from just smelling the leaves, there's those fruits. A lot of South African members of Rutaceae, the citrus family, have those little fruits with that little umbo at the end of them, that little point. Same shape. How about that? Look at this wonderfully rounded lobostemon. It's almost like someone did topiary on it. Like some asshole came out here and did topiary. Got a couple flowers left. Those pink filaments. Look at the leaves. Look at the texture of those leaves too. Look at all those stiff little hairs reflecting the light. Almost looks like you got little isoaceous bladders on there. Water bladders. Nope, but it's just a bunch of hairs. Again, almost done. And then coming up here at the base of these cliffs, we got a tiny little mallow. Well, it's not tiny. I'd say it's more like a small shrub. The flowers are quite small compared to the other species in the genus that we've seen. This is Iniso Dantia, which is a genus you get quite a lot in another genus you get quite a lot in California horticulture, being that the climate of the Cape and coastal California are so similar. This is Iniso Dantia scabra. You can see it's in the same subfamily of the mallow family as cotton. It's got that androphore. Bunch of purple anthers down there in a column that is not connected to but wraps around that style. And the style is all those, see those, well, many styles, many little pink style branches right there. That androphore, just like hibiscus. See, there's what it looks like when it's still going off. See there, all the anthers? Styles aren't out yet on there. And of course, you got those stellate trichomes. Whole things. Oh, you got glands on there too. Oh, and it doesn't smell good. Kind of smells tarry. Iniso Dantia is a cool genus down here in South Africa. Quite a few species, and a few of them get rather large. A few of them just look like, you know, they're like a South African version of a hollyhock. Here's a member of the Apiaceae that's a shrub. You could see it's something like a small tree almost. And it's a member of the carrot family that causes that painful blistering if you fondle it, which I've done. So we'll see if it, I think you actually have to break the leaves, but we'll see. Notobubon galbanum. And there's that compound down below. You could see the little yellow stamens coming off of it with a little yellow ball anther on top of it. Each one of those small yellow flowers. Got leaves like a parsley, of course, which is in the same family. Or celery leaves, kind of. Almost maybe like Phyllocladus, too, which is a cool, conifer from, a cool Jurassic Age conifer from Tasmania and New Zealand. But anyway, I kind of wish I was looking at Phyllocladus, one of that podocarp now, instead of this Notobubon. What a weird name. But I still appreciate it. I always like a tree carrot. You didn't know Apiaceae could do such cool stuff, huh? They really can. Okay, aside from causing painful blisters, you know, I think a lot of that stuff though, that resin, you got to actually break the stem open, get the resin on you, the sap on you, and then mix it with a little bit of sunlight. You know, it's photosensitive. Right here, you got an Orobanche parasitizing one, which is nice. See that? Flowers spent, the flower stalk's spent, but only vestigial leaves on that, no chlorophyll. Orobanchaceae is the family on that parasite. And it seems to be parasitizing the Notobubon. Ooh. Oh, we got the king protea right here. Is it sending out? It's sending out new, are those flower heads? Is it going to be inflorescences? Or there's the old ones. There's the seeds at the end of those little straws. There you go. That's a nice money shot of that Adenandra. What's going on with that flower? Just catching the last rays of the sun. You got those 5 anthers, and then alternating with each anther, you got one of those stamenodes. Those staminode-like structures with the little bead at the top. Even the anthers have a little bead at the top of them. A little bead of resin, a little bead of that juicy oil for the pollinators. God, these smell good too. God, the citrus family really does some weird shit in the Southern Hemisphere. Look at that. And of course, those staminode-like things, they got the little hairs on them. And then you got the nice red striations on each petal. Not to mention, oh, the calyx itself. Look, you see the pellucid oil glands on the leaves, those little darker green dots? Oh yeah, that's nice. Rutaceae. You want to see nice Rutaceae, come to South Africa or go to, shit, Australia's got some great ones too. Baronia's a nice genus over there. You like the glands, Brick? Oh. And this is a nice spot to end it for the day. Holy shit, it's cold. It's super chilly, very windy. We'll end with a species of gland. It smells pretty good. There you go, there's a Gladiolus debilis. Because it's so debile. Nice pattern on that, those lower tepals, huh? Of course, you got those little purple anthers and a back hissing pollen, 3-branch style behind them. It's a very pleasant flower to look at. You get the wax on it, the bract too. Look at how small those leaves are, how narrow. It's crazy to think that it can do its thing right with just those leaves, that it can work up enough energy to store in that bulb to produce a flower like that. Jesus. You wouldn't notice them otherwise. You know, on years they're not flowering, you wouldn't even notice them. Anyway, that's all I got for tonight. Look at those fuzzy Leucospermum. How about that? That's all I got for tonight. Why don't you have a good rest of your day? Go fuck yourself. Bye. Oh, look at it. That's so nice. So nice. A brief moment of peace amidst the chaos.